Hello, Shaky here, and welcome back to Modulus. Today we are going to chase after doing a larger setup for the basic cores here, which are the white ones used for the white data shards and the basic bots. We're really after the white data shards because those are used in making the blue data shards up here, which is what is the next level of research for tech tree. So let's jump over to tech tree real quick here and let's grab some of these buildings. This is going to be the basic core facility large. Costs 960 white cubes, white data shards. And we're going to grab this one. This is almost 2,000. Basic bot assembly large. There are two buildings we're going to mainly chase after today, but we also have 3,000 points saved up for the white data shards. So we're going to come down here and buy a couple other things. We're going to buy the freight hub. Nice, it looks like we can like transfer stuff from one island to another island by setting some options, and it basically delivers it across the map for us. That'll be super nice. And then we're going to unlock some other stuff here. We'll grab the sorter for 60 cubes. Nice. We will grab the, let's grab the greater crane amount. Gives us 8 cranes instead of 6. And I guess we'll hold off and see what else we need. We still have 2,600, so we can probably do most of these. We'll do crane reach, it's only 60. Nice, we probably just go through and do the rest of these. Alright, let's put down one of the large basic core facilities here. This one here, it's a little bit bigger than the other one. This is the regular one right here. And we're just going to assemble this one and see like how they compare to each other. We're probably going to set up on another island over here. But for now, let's just get this going. Let's just steal these from now. Get these set up over here. And let's see, let's just take all these for now. Delete this for now, and we'll steal this one over here. Yeah, so we get that built. That's going to take, looks like 80 of these pieces to get it going. Alright, so that's done being built, and it's fully upgraded. So the basic one here requires 4 of these material and 8 of these little column things. And that produces 4 basic cores. So basically 15 per minute, it's estimating. This one requires double the amount of material, 8 and 16. And it also requires oil, but it produces 16 basic cores, so 4 times the amount. So it uses double the amount of material, but it puts out 4 times the amount. So pretty worthwhile, I guess. It does require oil, though. We do not have oil on this island, so we'll probably come back and delete these, but for now we're going to leave them operating. We're going to come over here and purchase this island. Cost us 1 permit. We have 8 permits, so we have plenty of tickets. Purchase that. And we're going to come through and clear it. And we have oil right here, and we have a whole bunch of poly rock down here. So let's get some other upgrades done real quick. We have some blue science being delivered slowly, but it'll enable us to buy a couple of upgrades. We'll have some faster conveyor belts. Nice, 120 miles or 120 per minute instead of 60 per minute. Then we have some minor speed upgrades. These are going to double our output of the poly rock, which is going to be super nice. We're going to grab the furnace one as well. And we might as well grab the extractor speed because we're going to need that for the oil. So that's good there. I guess this is oil speed. This must be for the paint crystals. It's 480. We could probably buy it. Let's wait and see if we need it, because we only have 2,000 of those remaining, and these are getting quite expensive up here. So let's just wait and see. All right, let's see if we can move buildings between islands. That would be super nice. And we can. Nice. So let's just go ahead and put that down. Let's go ahead and get another one building on the way in case we need a second one. Let's take that over here. Yeah, we'll put some cranes on this one, and that way we'll click auto upgrade. That way it'll be working on it in the background while we're working on the other side. That's fine. That'll get it going. And the other thing I can't tell is like how much do I need to deliver this. So like it's hard to tell. Like I need 16 of these columns, but like a belt of 60. How many can that support? I can't really tell. Like I know the cranes operate at 15 per minute, so this one needs 2 cranes compared to this 1 crane. So does that mean like a belt of 60 could support 2 of these? Because this would be delivering at 30 per minute. I'm gonna go with that assumption right now, and we'll see if that works out. So I would need like a belt of 60 per minute of this would be basically supporting 2 of these buildings here, and that means we need 30 per minute on this one. So that's what I'm gonna go with. So let's get some minors put down. We do have some increased speed now. So I think if we put a minor down here, we should see it at, we hover over it, yes, 30 per minute, super nice. And we can pair that with our new furnace, which does 120 per minute and gives us 30 per minute polyrock. So we'll just have to, like, you know, grab 4 of these, and these will be 120. So that works out nicely to ratio. All right, this is the first shape. We need 64 voxels. It's a whole cube. So we're gonna use 2 of these. This would be 60 per minute, 2 belts of them. And we're just come over here and copy this up here. I think this should work. We'll check the ratios in a second. Let's copy, I think, that down for now. Copy that over here. So this will be coming in at 60, which will divide these out into 2 30s, which these can handle 30. They're going to split them in half and make 60, which these splitters will make it 30 and 30. So that'll handle the appropriate for the assemblers at 30. So they'll basically put them out at 30. So these two will generate 60 per minute, which I believe is enough to support 2 of these. We're going to find out. And then we need 1 of these. So just go ahead and bring this up here for now. Then we'll need 1 of these copies over here. Now we need this column here. We need 32 voxels of this, but we're going to need double the amount of it, right? Yeah, 16. So we basically need a belt of 60 of these as well, which is these 2 here. And we'll just grab these, copy this over. So we're here for now. And let's check the ratio. So we're going to be coming at 60 per minute. So that's already too much for this. Right, because these are 30, yeah. So we need 2 of these. So if we did 2 of these lines, this would be 30. Which would be 30 coming out of each one of these splitters, which would be fine for these. And these would put it into 60. So yeah, this is fine. We just need 2 of these. Let's go ahead and copy this setup here. Something like that. And we'll need these 2 belts coming over there. Let's make this look pretty. This should be done by now, which it is. Bring this over here. Delete these elevators real quick. Cranes. And let's get these organized to make it look pretty. All right, something like that should work now. We just need to grab some oil. That is this guy right here. This should come out now at 60 per minute. Okay, so that should be plenty, I think. We can drag this up to here. And we'll take it across here. We'll just put a tunnel in here. And continue it over this way. And I believe those need 2 cranes each. Yes, 2 cranes each. So let's see if we can fit that in here. I think we can. 1, 2. The only thing I don't like is I don't like doing these in succession like that, because sometimes the belt gets starved and this one slows down because this one's hogging all the resources. But we'll keep an eye on it and see if that's a problem. Alright, so let's grab our harvester drone here. Stick him down over here for now. Link him up to these 2 buildings. And that should get us approximately 60 cores per minute. We can go over here and take a look at the buildings. For the data processing, we're going to need, this looks like it outputs 60 per minute, so I can't really tell. Is that, how many cores is that? Does that mean it needs 60 cores per minute? This looks like it needs 15 per minute right here. And the basic bot processing, we'll have to build one of those too. So let's put down one of the large bot processors. See what that takes. That is this guy here. Another larger building. Assume it requires the same shapes, which is down here. So let's just peel off some of these shapes here and see if we can get them built. I'll take this guy here and just go under here. This is just temporary. Add some cranes. And we'll let that get built. Alright, I think we're going to go a little overboard on this. We're going to make 4 of these. We have some extra polyrock over here. I think this oil can keep up with 4 facilities. So we're going to copy this over and see if we can get 4 of these going. That way we can make bots and data shards over here. Let's copy this, see if we can do all this at once. That will just flip it. Got some trees in there. Put them right up next to each other like that. And I just gotta get these polyrock delivered over there, and this oil already has 2 outputs, I believe, so we can just go ahead and stick it out there. I believe it's 60 on both sides, so that should be good. So all I gotta do is get these polyrock here, and that'll be, and we'll have to get these upgraded as well. All right, so if I've done my math correctly, each one of these puts out 30 per minute. So that would be 120 per minute, which is 1 full belt at our new belt speed of basic cores. So we'll see how that keeps up. We're gonna now move over and we're gonna start putting the data processor over here first, because I want to get these shards going in bulk. So for that, we're gonna need the data processor here, which we could probably just move this one over and put another one in its place, but we might as well start building these shapes here. So let's do some quick calculations and figure out what we need. So unpin these, pin all of these. So this one needs basically even amounts of both of these. So, and let's see, this one needs 60 per minute. So does that mean it can do, one elevator can do 60 per minute, or one crane? I don't know, I'll get this figured out, but in the meantime, let's just go ahead and build 2 of these and see what it keeps up with. Let's grab those over here. Let's do the basic processing plant here, which is basic processing plant. We're gonna do 2 of these. And we're gonna basically get some shapes going. So we're gonna mine all these shapes up here. All right, to support 2 of the data processors, we're gonna start with 60 per minute of each shape. So we're just gonna copy one setup of this and get it set up in ratio over here. So that'll be this shape here. And this shape here. So relatively simple setup. All right, so I took the wrong shape, so let's get rid of these. That was for the basic bot setup. This is actually for the data processor, which is down here. So it's these 2 factory lines here. Let's just copy this over, and this shape and this shape, something like that. Rotate those around. And I'll do the quick math on to make sure that we're getting 60 per minute out of each one of those. Okay, so the setup works on this. If you input 30 per minute, we get 30 per minute out, so we're going to need 2 setups of each of these. Well, the bottleneck here is the monotoners. They can only do 15 per minute. Let's hit up the tech tree real quick. I think there's an upgrade to that. It's going to cost us 140 blue, but it's worth it, so we don't have to worry about that. Now the monotoners can do 30, so that'll keep up with the assembler rate, so that's good there. One thing here is I think I'm going to try to see if I can do a little shortcut here and just consolidate this a little bit. Like that. Helps a little bit. But yes, we're going to need 30 per minute each. We're going to need 2 setups of this and 2 setups of this. Alright, so I changed the layout of this one a little bit. I just moved this over a little bit and put it in the center. It makes it a little bit longer over here. But at least if we're lining up, it doesn't have this awkward space where this one juts out past this row here. So we're going to delete this one. We're going to copy this twice over here. We'll just put it like, I think right here for now. 2 of those down. And we'll grab 2 of these other ones. Alright, much nicer to copy when they don't stick out unevenly like this one. Delete these. Delete these. And we just gotta hook up the shapes to these. Nice, so that should be 60 per minute of each shape coming out. We just gotta hook it up to these guys here. And see, and we'll deliver these shapes to the hub and see if it can keep up and if we did the correct calculations. A little rearranging up here and we can move these guys in the middle, I think. We'll see how it works out. Move these guys right there. We should just be able to take these down the sides. Down here, this one will have to come down here to this one. And then some cranes, we'll put two cranes each belt. There you go. We'll see how that works out. We'll put a harvester drone pad in over here. These also need cores, right? They're gonna need cores once we go. Let's come check it out over here. Yeah, they also need cores, 60 per minute, so we're gonna need two cranes of those each, so let's get those added in. That's one of these right here. What we can probably do is just move this whole thing down one. Can we fit 4 cranes on this end? We can, nice, so let's just grab tunnels. Grab this up here, it lines up nicely, comes right down the middle here. And we can put 2 cranes on each one. Do auto upgrade, add crane. Do 2 for this guy. And this guy here we'll do auto upgrade, add crane, and do 2 here. And we'll just grab a harvester drone, stick them right here for now. Link them up to these 2 buildings. And then we just got to drag it to over to the other island here and send it home and see if it keeps up. Alright, so these are both operational now. We'll let them run for a bit, see how they keep up with the basic cores and see if we did our math correct. And we can check the efficiency view and see everything's green right now, but we'll let it run for a bit and see if that stays the case. The thing we're going to do is mess around with these freighter terminals we bought. We unlocked in the tech tree. Don't know how they work. Put one there. Because these are limited to 160 per minute. The Skyliners here. And we need 120 per minute because that's our belt can handle 120 per minute. So we either have to divide this up and send it over 2 Skyliners, or we can try the new freight thing here. I'm tempted to try this. Let's just try put it in here. And then let's just grab another terminal over here maybe. Freight hub here. So input dock, output dock. So we want the output dock here to add a freighter. How many freighters are we allowed? Freighter Dave. So add stop. We want to do. Are these guys named? This is Freight Hub Beta. This is Freight Hub Alpha. Okay, so we want to stop at Alpha. Grab from 1. Load from 1. Come over here and unload, add a stop here, make this beta. I assume unload here maybe. Drop off, will that work? And we're doing this wrong anyway. Let's just save these changes now. See if that works. But we're actually delivering the wrong shape here, so we got to delete all this. We're going to turn these into data cubes, not the processors. So this is producing gray processors. We actually want gray data shards, I think. So that is in the data center here. Something like this. Now this can, let's select the right recipe, gray data shard. And it needs 15 per minute to make 7.5. So we need 8 of these to make a belt of 120. We'll probably just do something like this. I think something like that would work, right? So I think if we do something like this where it just splits off here, and then we can copy this up, like so, mirror it, rotate it, something like that. That should be able to process a full belt, maybe. Okay, the system has been running for a while. If we check our efficiency view, these are all operating as they should. They're all green. That means they're fully efficient, working at top speed, I believe. But if you come down here, these are all yellow, and some of these ones aren't even working at all. So I must be misunderstanding how these work, because like this does 30 per minute, this does 30 per minute, so this outputs 60 per minute, which it says right here, 60 per minute. But these come up here, so these look like they need 1 elevator or 1 crane, which is 15 per minute. So these only take 30 per minute, so we could do double the amount of this. It means we'd have to double up these shapes, but if we doubled up these shapes here, could we support 4 of these instead of 2 of these off just this one guy here? I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's temporarily disable some of this stuff here. Let's move this guy over to here for now. Move this out of the way. And let's see if we can copy the setup here. Copy all this really. I think it's going to fit in here though. Alright, let's just move it over here for now. So can we Control Z this? Nice, we can. So let's just copy this setup over here. We'll just make some really long belts for now. Copy it over there. Delete some of this extra stuff. Give me a second to get this hooked up. It's not going to be pretty. If it works, I'll clean it up and make it look nicer. But I want to see if we can support 4 of these on just one of these setups here. Okay, so I split this output of cores, half going to this setup, half going to this setup over here. These are still being built right now. I have a full belt of supplies coming over from here. I believe we had just enough to get this done. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 miners on the belt, fills the belt up, brings it all the way over here, gets split 4 ways. So this should be making 60 per minute, I believe, or 120 per minute when this comes out of here, which will make 60 per minute data shards out of here, which combine with this belt to make a full belt. Now for some reason this is backed up, so I gotta figure out why this is backed up. Because we got the wrong shapes on here somewhere. How did I get the wrong shapes on here? Oh, these are the wrong shapes. Does that mess up what's inside here? No, it does not. Okay. So how do we get the wrong shape on there? I gotta mix up somewhere here. Might have just been copying it over, so let's just clear this out. And that's where it's from right there, okay. Again, not pretty. We're going to clean this up if it works. Alright, so give this a second to become fully operational and we'll see what happens. Alright, so everything's fully green right now, except for down here. So I'm clearly not understanding how these production numbers work here, because this is gonna run out here. We are out of basic cores here now, so that's gonna make all this turn back to yellow because it's not gonna have enough cores to process. So you can see how it's turning yellow here. And that just turned yellow. This is gonna turn yellow because it doesn't have enough cores. So somehow I gotta figure, this is my bottleneck right here. I gotta figure out what I'm doing wrong here. Because these, to me 2 cranes would mean 30 per minute, but that's obviously not the case because I am delivering 60 per minute to each belt here with 2 cranes. Alright, so if you take a look at this building here, it says this column part needs 2 cranes. So that would be 30 per minute here. We have this shape being made here, but we're actually making 60 per minute of that. So does that mean I can actually support 4 of these on what I'm doing with just this set here and not use this set at all? We do have 4 buildings here, so with some quick modifications I can probably test this and have this set delivered to all 4 and see if these parts turn green here. See if I got that calculation correct. And we just have to figure out what to do with 120, because these put out 30 each. Yeah, so that would be 120 cores per minute, which we can calculate up here and see if we need those, but let's try that first. Alright, I got it all hooked up. It's not pretty right now. I'm going to clean it up if this works, but until I know it works, I'm not going to make it pretty. So we're going to hit the H button here and just check our efficiency. This is working now. This is all green. These 4 parts here are delivering to all 4 of these factories here. These are not being used at all, as you can see that they're red. And that is creating basically 120 cores per minute, which are being funneled into these 2 buildings right here. And these are being combined into here and being split out this way. Half up here, half down here. And we can see if that's enough here. This is not backing up. This is backed up from before, but it looks like it's counting down. We'll have to keep an eye on it. And then these are all working over here, so we can kind of see this is all turned green again, so this is all efficient. These are turning green, hopefully. It looks like we might have it figured out. So it looks like it comes down to these things here. So if this says 2 cranes, that means it's 30 per minute. 1 crane means 50 per minute. You can put extra on there, but it doesn't speed up the process at all, because that's what I was doing. I was putting in extra cranes and thinking it would speed up the process, but I guess it doesn't really have any effect on it. Okay, so it looks like we got it figured out. This is all green now. It's been running for a while now. We can zoom in here and we can see that this is 120 per minute, so a full belt of the gray data shards coming in. The freighter is keeping up with it. We only have 25 in stock here, and it basically fills up it goes to 0 every time the freighter arrives. And it's getting delivered over here. There's nothing stockpiling in the freighter. We have 39 because it just dropped off, but it's going to count down to 0 by the time the next freighter gets here. So it's good there, and everything is green. So it's going to take me a minute. I'm going to basically, we don't need this at all. We have way too much production here. This can support up to 4 of these guys, and this is all working up here too, so it's everything's still green, still working. So we just got to delete this stuff here and I gotta make it look, reorganize it so it looks a little better than what it does now. Alright, here we go. Here's the new layout. Everything looks nicely organized for the most part. We can start over here with the basic cores. We have these 4 basic cores being made. I just gotta hook these up to get the system going. So hook one up to here, one up to here. I'll hook one up to here and here. And they should each put output basically 30 per minute. So this should basically create 120 out, which should give us a full belt here. It's gonna be split between these machines up here. Another question I have up here is like the cranes seem to matter, right? Because like I have, even though this says you only need 1 crane for 15 per minute, I have 2 cranes on here and it says 60 per minute coming out. Whereas this one over here has 1 crane per input and it only says 30 per minute. So clearly there's some balance between the number of cranes and the number of output. Anyways, we'll just let that go for a minute and see how it goes. I think it's pretty good. And then these go into our 16 grade data shard makers, and we should end up with a full belt here. We can put a counter on here just to make sure we're getting a full belt. And we'll let it run for a little bit here and hit H, and we'll just make sure everything turns green and stays green. Okay, I think we're gonna have to edit this slightly because these each put out, if I put 2 cranes on them per input, that gives me 60 out, which would give me 120, which would be a full belt. And right now I'm combining these belts right here. Should be a somewhat easy fix, but I'm gonna let it run for a minute and just see if everything stays green or not. But you can already tell these are struggling because we're not making cores fast enough here. Whereas this one has 2 cranes on it and it's turned green. So the ones that only have 1 crane on them are yellow, which is affecting the rest of the stuff here. So, but interestingly, this is all green, but these buildings are storing it up right now once they get full. So let's go ahead and put 2 cranes on each one of these basic processing plants. Alright, so that's all the cranes on there, and now we don't combine the belts here. There's 2 separate belts because they're both full at 120 per minute coming in, which makes each one makes 60 per minute coming out, which should give us a full belt. So we'll see if this number goes up to 120 here. And we can hit H now and see if everything's turning green. Yeah, these are already turning green. I got an extra crane in there somehow. These are all green. These will probably turn green shortly. And these are all green, so good to go. Alright, we are now at 120 here, so everything is going well. Everything is green on the island here. Everything looks like it's operating as it should. So we have over 10,000 data shards now. We might as well go to Tech Tree and just purchase everything we can that involves the white science. To a certain extent anyway. So like we'll grab this crane amount number 10. We'll grab linked building amount. We'll grab Skyliners per island up to 8. Grab the storage depot. Grab the pointers. More freighters sounds good. And we might as well go buy the monument until we still have 8,000 points up here. So let's go buy the monument. That's going to cost 4,000. Yeah, I guess we'll grab this too. I don't know what this does, but it only costs 1 data shard. Nice. Alright, so next up I think we'll work on this basic bot assembly large here. Because we can look at the delivery target here. We're working on number 8 right now, which is almost done. 8,000 bots. We have 7,400 delivered. But these next ones get huge. This one requires 40,000 basic bots. So we definitely want to get the large one up and running so it doesn't take forever. That's this one here. But for now we can probably come over here and delete these data shards. We don't need this anymore. So let's just go ahead and delete these. We'll delete this. We'll delete this. We're going to delete all the stuff that goes with it. We're basically going to clear this area out and start making some of these basic bot large ones. Alright, that's cleared out. We can delete these for now. These are just the basic core ones. We don't need those right now. We're probably going to redo these as well. These are the small core facilities. We're going to need the large core facilities like these over here. Let's just go ahead and delete these. Watch that. We'll get rid of this. We'll get rid of these. We'll get rid of these basic bot ones. We don't need these. We're going to use larger ones. And these are the shapes for the large ones, so we're going to leave these here for now. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically copy the setup over here and get 4 of these going, I think. Seems to make sense. Alright, we might as well delete these 2. These are kind of not useful anymore. We're going to put the new setup in that we have over on the other island. For now we can just basically copy the setup over here. We'll start with, probably just copy the whole thing, right? We are going to need oil over there. I forgot about that. We'll have to figure that out in a minute. Alright, so we probably put this in somewhere like this. That seems to look pretty nice. Let's put it there. We got that harvest pad in the way, but I feel like we can move that. Let's try that. Place it. Alright, looks like oil is going to become a thing too, because it's kind of hard to find, and full belt full for these 4 buildings here. And we're also going to need it for the basic bot assembly large here. So we're going to buy this island down here. It's got some oil on it. Purchase that for 1 ticket. It's got some oil right there. I assume that's probably 60 per minute. Yep, 60, so that's good. So that's 120. That's going to be all used up by these 4 buildings here. And then we can come down here, and I think there's another small island over here. It's got some oil on it right there. Let's buy this one. I guess another 120 oil there. So that's good. So let's just bring this oil up to here. And we can put this on 1 belt right now. Probably going to come out over to here, I think. Of course, we're going to need 2 of these, right? Because this only takes 60. Is there a way to speed that up? Yeah, right here, but that needs the blue ones. I suppose we could do that because we do have enough blue here. I think for now we're just going to throw a second one in. Nice. Okay, so that'll get us over there. One of these is going to come up to here. And the other one's going to come down here, go around the base, and come into there. That should get us our basic cores going. And that should get us some basic cores going. With the cores operational now, we can grab the basic bot building shapes up here. These 2 factory lines, they're adequate to make 120 per minute of each shape, which should be enough to support 2, maybe 4 of these. We're going to find out. Let's just copy these down and put them in place here. So we'll just move them. We don't even need to copy them. Rotate this on. I think we just put them down here for now, I think. Move those into place here. We might move them down a little bit so we can squeeze more stuff in, but we'll see. And we can just grab these 2, put these down here. Line these up with these buildings here, I think. So I'm going to go with the assumption that we could probably do more than 2 of these, maybe 4 of them. So we don't want to crowd this too much here, so I can't really copy these down. So I think what we're going to do is just try to rearrange this a little bit and maybe move it over this way. Something like over here maybe. See how that works out, and then we'll move these down this way. And we'll put 2 more of these in, I think, because I think we're going to need them. Let's try something like that. Alright, so we also need oil and cores delivered to these facilities. Oil is way down here at this other small island that we unlocked. So we'll just grab a belt up here. We're going to have to do the two belt thing again, because did we upgrade our Skylanders? I don't remember. Just take it over and see. So this can handle 60, so yeah, we haven't upgraded it yet, so let's just do 2 of them. Back together. It's good there, we just got to combine this one as well. It's 120 out. Down here, we'll split this off for here. And we'll probably just we'll bring these back 1 so they don't accidentally run into these belts. I'll do something like this, I think. Yeah, that should be good there. We also need to get cores in here, which are over here. So bring those down here and somehow into this way. So I believe these can just come all the way down here. I believe we have the extended reach on the cranes now. And this one can come up and over. Kind of hug it here and go back down in here, I think. As we get oil and coils to everyone, we just have to add some belts or some cranes. Gotta delete these as well. This is a mistake. And we'll just get rid of these off the belt. Nice. And now we can just, I'm gonna put 2 cranes of everything. We're allowed up to 10 cranes now. So we're gonna have 4 different materials that go in here. These 2 shapes and these 2 shapes. So we're gonna do two cranes each. 2. I don't know if we can fit this all on here though. We're gonna be 1 crane short over here. We'll have to figure that out. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate here. Unless we can do this, we could probably do this, right? Add cranes down here. We can grab these 2, okay, that'll work out. And then let's take these 2. Yes, that works out good. Alright, then lastly, we just need to find room for the harvester pads. I think we can probably move this freight hub here. There's no reason crowding the hub with it. Rotate it over here for now. We'll put it down there. Let's grab this here. Into here should be fine. And then we can grab some harvester pads. Put 1 right here. And 1 right here probably. And these will come out at, this one will handle these 2. This one will handle these 2. And this can come right out into the hub here. And this one can hook up into that one somehow. Like so. So let's let that run for a little bit. Let's throw a counter in here. And we'll see how fast we're making these bots. Okay, that's been running a while and everything stayed green, so it looks like we're good there. We can easily support 4, which is making basically 120 bots per minute right here. So that's pretty good. And these aren't really backing up, so I think it's looking pretty good. So yeah, we'll let that run for a little bit and we will start working on the next thing. In between episodes, I'm just going to basically turn these white cubes into the blue shards here instead, because right now we have 12,000 gray cubes, which I don't think we need that much anymore. So that's plenty of white shards to hold us for a while. And I'll just make that run for a while and we'll start the next episode. So thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.